Hi fellow enthusiasts, welcome to my channel. Let's go into today's video and we're gonna come back at the end to wrap it up. FTDI cable. So I have that plugged in. I'm gonna plug it to my computer right now. Alright, so we're just gonna compile and then upload. Right, so we have connected the FTDI cable and now the code is being uploaded. You can see on the other side of the screen the Nextion editor is being written to right now at 10% reader. This is normally faster with the SD card, but my computer here doesn't have the micro SD card reader, so I needed to get an adapter. But for now, we can just use the FTDI cable. Once we get 100%, you can see the code we've developed on the screen. On the left hand side of the screen, we can see on the right hand side of the screen. It's successfully. So as you can see, we're in business right now. So I'm gonna exit here. So on the left hand side of the screen, you can see the Nextion editor, and on the right hand side, you can actually see the project in action. So when I click on this button, let's use a stylus so my finger doesn't cover the whole screen. So when I click on this, when I click on that, alright. So let's go and do debugging, see what happens. So when I click on this, I see that right there. Okay, let's do simulator, and yeah, so when I did minus I get 0.2, when I do plus I get 0.3 in this string that is returned here, alright, or the hexadecimal that is returned. So let's try it from the Nextion editor, and we're going to see this result in action once we go into the Arduino. Alright, let's go there and do it right now. Alright, we're gonna start the project right now. So let's do some includes. We're gonna include the server. We need a server for the work, and then we're going to include the usual suspects whenever we're working on this. Include, we need ESP, of course, 8266. This one is the Wi-Fi version that we're using. Then we need to include software serial, then we need to include, I think we might be doing some math, right? So let's just include math just in case we use it. We've used it previously, so we might need it sometime later. So then let's include the actual device we're using, which is the Nextion. Alright. If we need more, we're gonna add it later. So let's just declare that our server is a server. Alright. And then we're gonna declare some things again. So software serial, we're gonna tell it the pins we're going to be using. Software serial, Nextion. So we're going to use pin 2 and 13, just like we did before. 2 and 13. And so let's include a comment to Nextion transmit pin to pin 2 and receive pin to pin 13. Okay, right, I think that's all we need here. Then we're gonna say that our Nextion, we're gonna call it my Nextion, and then we're gonna tell it the baud rate to use. Nextion, we're gonna use 15 to 115200. Okay, so basically what we're doing here, we're creating an object. Create an object and call it named. We're naming it my Nextion. All right. Then in our setup, this runs one time. In our setup, we want to start the serial begin. We want it to start at the right baud rate. You can use any baud rates you want, but this is what we want to use. And we'll say that my Nextion, we want to initialize it. So this means at boot up, we want the Nextion to be initialized. Then we're gonna attach the saver pin, saver to the attach, and we're gonna connect it to one of the pins of the ESP. So we're already using 2 and 13. 13 is D7 and 2 is D4. So we can use pin 5, which is D1. So let's attach it to pin 5. So let's use 5 here. All right. So then once we attach it, we're gonna delay a little bit so that everything is done properly before we start. We can use a second or two, but let's use 2 seconds for now. We can adjust as we go. All right. Now that's the setup. Now before I continue, let me just compile the sketch and see if we have errors. We finish our setup. The next will be to run the codes that run repeatedly. Now if you don't have any of these libraries included already, just go to your sketch and then include libraries, manage libraries, and then search for the library that you need. If we get an error, so we didn't get an error, so far so good. Let's continue then. So we're going to declare a string to receive the commands from the Nextion editor, or the Nextion display. Nextion display. So we're going to call it commands or command. We're going to receive command from the Nextion display, and then we're going to say my Nextion dot listen. So we're going to listen to message coming from the Nextion display. So let's just comment it so we can know what this is for. So listen to commands from the Nextion display. I feel like giving this a capital letter, so let's just do that from Nextion display. So and then we're going to write an if statement. So we're going to listen for commands, and then we'll say if command is not equal to null, so in other words it is not empty. If there's no empty message, we're gonna do art. So let's print whatever we see. Right, so we're gonna say serial dot print command. Basically whatever we receive, we print it out, we'll throw it up on the screen. That's the first thing we're gonna do. So listen for a command. If it is not blank, if it's not empty, we do stuff. Then we're going to write a few more commands, because again this is to turn our server right or left. So we're going to say if command is, now we want to check if it's a particular message received. If it is, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. If it is this, do alt. What I want to do, if the command was this, then write, yes, I deleted what I written before. I did undo, copy, paste. Alright, so we're gonna say 0. That's what we want to do. Copy, let's cut everything and repaste it. Well, it doesn't work like Android Studio. It didn't format this for me, but I'll do it manually now. Okay, so let's go through this. We included all the necessary libraries for us to get this to function. Then we declared that our server is a server, and then we attached the server to pin 5. We initialize the serial monitor. We initialize the Nextion. We waited for 2 seconds, so everything is done properly. We can make it a second. We don't have to wait this long. 1,000 milliseconds. And then this runs continuously. First of all, we listen for a message. We'll say if it's not empty, let us see the message. And if the message is a particular value, write to the server to be at 45 degrees. If the message is at a different value, let's just add another letter here. If this is a different value, then write 0 to the server. Right, so we probably want to start the server at a default position. So maybe we start it at 0, and then we write 45 and 90. How about that? So maybe we should just, when we initialize it, how about when we initialize it, we write the server to, after we attach it, we wait for this. Let's see. How about we write 0 to it, so it goes to 0, and maybe we delay 1 second after that, so allow it to get to 0. Yeah, let's try this. Let's compile this. Alright, so we've done compiling. There were no errors. So let's do something here. Let's connect the Nextion editor to the Arduino and see Nextion Display. Alright, so we're gonna power this up. Alright, all powered up right now, so you can see the connection. Yeah. So let's get our serial monitor on. Tools, serial monitor. Alright, let's try clicking one of these buttons. Alright, you can see on the screen we have a message. And we were clicking the plus, and we're getting message with 65030FF. Let's try the minus. Alright, so we're getting some gibberish as well for the minus, but the plus has no gibberish with it. So we're gonna figure out what's going on here. Alright, we're gonna fix that gibberish, but for now, we know when we click on plus, so we're gonna copy that. So we say when we get this message, Right, set it at 70 at 45. But when we get the other message, when we get this, all right, so set it at 90. Now the good news here is we are looking for a specific message, so we're gonna ignore any gibberish. So when we receive this message, set it at 45. When we receive the other message, set it at 90. And yeah, so it's just gonna go 90 and then 45 and then 90 and then 45. But this is kind of extreme, so we might have to do some math later to increment. So we can say when you receive this message, then add, we're gonna have a for loop for the angle less than 95 or 45 or 90, add, and for angle less than that, subtract. So we're gonna do that maybe subsequently, but for right now, this is all we need. We have to just attach the servo. All right, so let me grab that. Alright, so we're gonna use this servo motor, very tiny one, and we have the indicator to tell us where it is turning. So I'm gonna need to connect up this, right? Let's look at the pinouts of the servo motor. Servo motor pinouts. Alright, so we're using this type. So the black is ground, the red is VCC, and the yellow is signal. But the one we have here doesn't really look like it has the black wire. Kind of brown, so we're gonna treat that as the ground. All right, thanks for sticking around to the end. That'll be it from us today. Please, if you have not subscribed, do so right now, and don't forget to like and share this video. Until we come your way again with more contents, stay enthused.